Abby is the only babysitter who's never had a love interest before. I think that's because by the time Abby joined the club, the series had exhausted all of its storylines involving boyfriends. If Abby had joined the series 50 books earlier, then she'd probably be dating Alexander Kurtzman, the Jewish mathlete who always wears a suit and tie. Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review. This book was written by Nola Thacker. Abby hates Valentine's Day. Everyone's obsessed with love. The English teacher makes them read Shakespeare love poems. Kids are always making out in the hallways. And whoa! Making out in the hallways? I do not think that's allowed in middle school. Abby explains she has a bad history with Valentine's Day. In 5th grade, everyone laughed when a boy gave her candy hearts. Why is that funny? That's what people normally do. Abby got sick after eating an entire box of candy once. Last year, she was embarrassed when she was the only one not to give out Valentines. You know, none of those sound like good reasons to hate Valentine's Day. Also, all the boys in school are super immature. Ah, that's a good reason to hate Valentine's Day. Enter Ross Brown, a nice guy who laughs at Abby's dumb jokes. They like to hang out and complain about English class. Ross says he doesn't care about love or the Valentine's dance. Abby is glad she's met someone who feels the same way she does. Abby's sister Anna is a little jealous. She wishes a guy was nice to her because she kind of wants to get invited to the dance. Abby says it's okay to go to the dance by yourself. That's what Jesse and Shannon are doing. I'm a little peeved that Shannon is Mallory's replacement after 2 books of being assured Mallory would not be replaced. Continuity. Abby continues to hate Valentine's Day. Stacy's boyfriend sends her romance emails. Gross. And Claudia's boyfriend decorates her locker. Talk about desperate. As for Marianne, Abby has no complaints there. Marianne and Logan are a good couple. When Ross hears there's some romance that Abby doesn't hate, he takes it as an opening. He asks her out to the dance. Abby says no, nothing personal, but she doesn't buy into romance. He plays it off like he was just kidding. Nice try, Ross. I know you're going to cry yourself to sleep tonight. In the subplot, Christie's family has to give up the guide dog for the blind, which they adopted in book 118. Andrew's devastated because he thinks Scout is his dog. He shouts at his family a lot, and he keeps doing things that you're not supposed to do with guide dogs, like throwing treats at her and putting her on the bed. I found this subplot to be rather painful. It's realistic because Andrew is 4, but the parents should have done a much better job of handling the situation. As usual for this series, the parents are incompetent, so they sit back and do nothing, while the Babysitters Club solves their problems. In this case, Christy helps Andrew by playing pretend you're a blind person getting a guide dog for the first time. Claudia and Stacy are surprised to learn Abby turned Ross down. They think Abby should go to the dance with Ross, even if she doesn't want him as a boyfriend. It makes sense that they feel this way, because the girls did a lot of casual, non-romantic dating at the start of the series, especially in book 2. Abby doesn't know that. She assumes the other girls are just desperate to have boyfriends, so they'll do anything to get a date. Way to assume the worst of your friends, Abby. Christy takes Abby's side. She thinks Abby did the right thing in refusing to lead Ross on. Christy rewrites history and says she never liked Bart. She only dated him because it was easy and socially acceptable. Delaying their inevitable breakup only made things worse in the end. At this point, Ross becomes obsessive. He shows up at Abby's house with flowers, he leaves a poem at her locker, and during English class, he makes pointed remarks about giving someone a chance. Ross is totally crossing the line here. Abby said she doesn't want to date him. She explained why. He needs to give up on her and move on with his life. I'm confused why Ross is so desperate to date Abby. He spent the first third of the book agreeing with her that romance is bad and it's totally fine if you don't want to date someone. Was that all a lie or what? I guess it's not a surprise I liked best friend Ross way better than stalker Ross. Abby gets into an argument with her friends, who think she should date Ross. They assume Abby's just shy because she's never been on a date before.
I've had a boyfriend not just in Stony Brook, I've had plenty of them. I mean, Long Island is filled with my former boyfriends, okay? I was exaggerating, but I was angry.
I want to hear more about Abby's old boyfriends. What if she had a bad breakup on Valentine's Day last year, and that's the real reason she hates Valentine's Day? That would make a lot more sense than I hate Valentine's Day because some people laughed at me in 5th grade. Abby gets love advice from Christy's brother Charlie, which is hands down the best scene of the book. Charlie says Abby should return all of Ross's gifts and make it clear they'll never date. Instead of taking Charlie's advice, Abby decides to set Ross up on a date with Anna. He's a jerk who harassed me non-stop. He should date my twin. Thanks to a series of sitcom-style mishaps, Abby and Anna swap clothing and Abby puts on glasses. So when Ross shows up, he thinks Anna is Abby. They have different hairstyles. How does he not notice the difference? The girls go along with it until Mom shows up and reveals the truth. It's 5:30. Mom is home 2 hours earlier than normal. Did she leave work early just to put an end to this twin swap? Ross is angry at being fooled, and he avoids Abby at school. This is exactly what she wanted all along, but now she's unhappy. Abby and Anna go to Ross's house to apologize. Abby also apologizes to her babysitter friends. Ross takes Anna to the dance and a classical music concert. Abby spends her Valentine's Day watching a horror movie with Christy. The theater's manager gives Abby a giant box of chocolates. Abby says she has someone special to share candy with. Christy Thomas. The end. Post-book follow-up. The internet reminded me that Ross Brown was Stacy's love interest in book 43, which only makes it creepier that Stacy is so into the idea of Abby dating him. I didn't like this book. It was a lot of Abby complaining about romance for little reason. I wish her motivation was more fleshed out. She seems to be anti-romance because the plot requires her to, not because she has legitimate gripes. The book gives off some lesbian vibes in places. If this had been a serious book where Abby comes out of the closet, that would have been a big improvement. The Date My Twin story is not good. It's creepy and inappropriate. I thought the story dragged because the book takes too long to get to the twin swap. It's built up so much, it should have been a few chapters, not half a chapter. Another way to improve this book is to make it like a Hallmark Christmas movie. Abby can slowly fall in love with her best friend Ross as he shows her the true magic of the holiday. That would have been much better than Ross becoming a villain out of nowhere. And he still gets a happy ending? Why? He should get a restraining order placed against him. This is one of many Babysitter's Club books that explicitly mentions the Parent Trap movie. Everyone in this series loves that movie so much, I'm surprised a twin swap has not happened sooner. The remake of that movie came out the same year as this book, so it's probably the only time that referencing the Parent Trap was topical. Overall, I did not like the book. You could probably figure that out from the fact that I had 3 different suggestions of how the story should be rewritten. The first third of the book was okay, although like I said, Abby's motivation was a little weak. Everything after that is pretty bad. This is Abby's last book, and it is not a good note for her to go out on. I give Babysitter's Club number 127, Abby's Un-Valentine, a 2.5 out of 10.